or someone to take care of your dog. You also have to think about, do you have kids? And if you get a dog without thinking about that question, then the dog might be aggressive and it can hurt the kid. And if you have a child or kid or someone that is from 1 to 5, then a big dog or an aggressive dog or pit bull or something like that might not be too good around that kid. So smaller dog might be better. Also have to think about, are you active? Because if you're active and you get a laid back dog, then you won't get a lot of exercise and it won't turn out that well. And if you're a laid back person and get an active dog, then I don't think you would like that. So if you're a laid back person, you might want a laid back dog, and if you're an active person, you might want an active dog so you can get the exercise you need. And if you're a laid back person and get a laid back dog, that the dog still needs exercise, so you still have to walk it, even if you don't want to. You also have to think about, is your home big or small? Because if your home is big or small, if you get a small dog in a big home, you can lose it. And if you get a big dog in a small home, the dog thinks it's one of you and can take over and wreck your house. And, yeah. Also, you have to think about, is your yard big or small? It's kind of the same thing with, is your house big or small? In a big yard, if you get a small dog in a big yard, you can lose it, and if you get a big dog in a small yard, it can wreck it and stuff like that. And if you get a medium-sized dog, it's okay in either yard, just also in a house. A medium dog is okay in any type of house. After you decide you want to adopt a dog, then there are some steps that are involved in adopting it. First, you have to go to the shelter and see what type of dog you want, which is because they're at a shelter, there are different types of dogs, different colors, different sizes, and different types. And actually, last Sunday I went to one of the shelters, and it had different types of dogs, small dogs, big dogs, and medium-sized dogs. And then a while ago I went, and there was only pit bulls, and then the next time I went, there was also different types of dogs. Then you have to go through the pre-adoption counseling, which is when a person from the shelter sits down and talks to you and tells you what is involved in adopting a dog before you actually adopt it. All shelters require dogs to be spayed or neutered before you adopt them. And spaying is an operation that females get so they can't get pregnant or have babies, and neutering is an operation that males get so you can't make a female pregnant. Okay, why spay or neuter? You should spay or neuter so that when you adopt the dog, it doesn't have puppies, and other reasons are that so it is less likely to get cancer and healthier. You don't have to spend a lot of money, and you don't have to, and it's very important. Then you have to sign the adoption papers and send them in, because if you don't write down everything on the adoption papers, then you send them in and they send them back, and you have to go through the process all over again. What is on the adoption papers? Some things are your name, address, phone number. Do you work, and if so, how far away is your job? Your work phone number. Do you own or rent? How many people live with you? Do you have other pets? And do you have children, and if so, how old are they? Then And then after that, there is how long is the adoption process. It depends on what shelter you go to. Some shelters, you can go in, sign the adoption papers, sign the pre-adoption papers, see what type of dog you want, and come out the same day with a dog. Other shelters take 3 to 7 days. And after that, then the people at the adoption center invite you to come and pick up the dog. What is the MSPCA? The mission of the Massachusetts Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals and the Angel Animal Medical Center is to protect animals, relieve their suffering, advance their health and welfare, prevent cruelty, and work for a just and compassionate society. At the MSPCA, 3 things must happen before you adopt the dog. The dog must have all its shots, because if it doesn't, then you will go home and then you have to get the shots in. So, then all family members must meet the dog. If one family member doesn't meet the dog, when you take the dog home, that family member might want to pet it and it won't turn out that well. And if you have other dogs, the dogs must meet each other, because if they don't and the dog you just adopted goes home, things can get pretty ugly. How much does a dog cost? Most places charge between $100 to $200 to adopt a dog. And once you own the dog, vet care and supplies can cost $700 to $1,000 or more. When you get the dog home. Once you get the dog home, you have to train it and have all the supplies ready. Some supplies you need are water, food, dog bowls, beds, and toys. And vet care. Shelters provide veterinary care for pets who are up for adoption, but not for the general public. At the MSPCA, they only provide vet care to the low-income people. And at the Angel Medical Center next door, they are open to the public and are open 24/7. Thanks for watching. Sylvia. Do you plan to adopt a dog? It's okay with my mom. Dan.
$700 to $1,000, is that a year or a week or a month?
It's a year, a month, or a week. Any more questions? Joyce.
I didn't hear back here, but do you have a favorite dog?
Dachshund. Or a teacup puppy. Robin?
If you adopt a dog and sign all the papers, and if this doesn't work for you, can you just bring it back?
Yeah, you can.
Do you request a specific breed at the shelter?
Yeah, that's what pre-adoption is.
No, I mean, can you say I want a poodle? Or...
Yeah, you can. Okay. Any more questions? Meg?
I've heard that you can go to different shelters. It's kind of piggybacking on whoever just asked that other question. Like there's a shelter for pit bulls, or there's a shelter for German shepherds. Is that true?
Yeah, that is.
Oh, it is.
Okay. Any more questions? Okay. Thank you again.